Hello. Um, Hi, it's me again. Sorry I haven't posted in a bit. Life and school has gotten in the way, but that's a part of life. Um, cat. So the thing I wanted to talk about today is I got really intrigued by my for you English class. Um, Feeling old, even though I'm not. Thing I wanted to talk about is we're reading The Great Gatsby right now, and there's a few things I find overlooked with the book because every other video I've seen about the book is not like it never mentions it. I find like I haven't noticed it mentioned at all, and I wanted to talk about it and post it on the internet. I'm not an English dude, but I wanted to post it because I'm interested in it. Sorry if this is not my usual forte. Um, this book is not like standard story narration. Nick Carraway is writing this in the most honest way he actually can. All criticisms included everything. 2 years after the fact of everything that happens in this book, it's a recollection of his memory. I will prove this by saying a few lines and also talking about some other things about how he judges other characters. Um, le cat, the cat, le chat, le gâteau. I don't know any other way to say cat in any other language. But basically, the first thing I would like to talk about, because everybody seems to talk about, oh, Nick is so judgmental during the book. Like, he's always so judgy, even though he said in the beginning he's not. I would like to point on the line in this version of the book, depending on which version of the book, it's like page 2, like very next thing. But on this, for this version, it's like page 1, chapter 1. So it's well, technically page 7, but it's page 1 of the actual book. So I'm going to read this directly from the book. And after boasting this way of my tolerance, I come to the admission that it has a limit. That line is him admitting to the fact that he's not usually a judgmental person, but his tolerance is it does have a limit to what it can not judge. I feel like this book is the limit. What broke it, what all of his judgment has come down to in this book. In another line, one of his more famous ones, I am one of the most honest men I have ever known. This is his honesty speaking. This is him just putting it out there, what he thinks, how he feels about the people, and how he remembers it. As I said earlier, and how it mentions later in the book, it took him 2 years to remember the police at Gatsby's house and the reporters and all of that. It took him years to actually get this all down. He didn't write it right away, but writing this book was kind of cathartic. I think I'm saying the right word. Cathartic for him because he finally got to get it all out. All of the judgment, everything that happened, and a man he idolized. He's not holding anything back in the book. His homage to a man and all the events that happened. He doesn't like to be judgmental, but this is where he puts it. All of his judgment. And the homage is to Gatsby, the great Gatsby. A guy who, well, who represented everything for which I have an unaffected scorn. If personality is an unbroken series of successful gestures, then there was something gorgeous about him, something some heightened sensitivity to the promises of life, as if he were related to one of those intricate machines that register earthquakes 10,000 miles away. This responsiveness, and nothing to do with the flabby impersonability which is dignified under the name of the creative temperament. It was an extraordinary gift for hope, a romantic readiness, such as I have never found in another person, and which it is not likely I shall ever find again. No, Gatsby turned out all right in the end. It was what preyed on Gatsby, what foul dust floated in the wake of his dreams that temporarily closed out my interest in the abortive sorrows and short-winded elations of men. He does say some negative things about Gatsby, but in the end of everything, he really appreciated him. The unaffected scorn is he can't really scorn him. Gatsby was looking for a dream that was affected by all of the sacrifices he made to just attempt the dream. He kind of gets it, but then it's lost in a car accident. And Tom Butchahan telling George Wilson that Jay Gatsby was driving the car and killed his wife, Myrtle Wilson. Which, by the way, spoilers, Gatsby dies due to George Wilson shooting him and then killing himself. Nick criticizes for the reasons shown in the book. He criticizes everybody. Tom, Daisy, Jordan, everybody. Those minor key characters that he was like, oh, the owl-eyed man and Mayor Wolfsheim, Oddfellows. But he has so much negativity except for Gatsby. Gatsby literally just a fellow trying to get back, just trying to get to his dream, to reach out and get there, but fails. Blinded by a light and consumed by the darkness that had kind of stabbed him in the back. His bootlegging, his bonds over the table, him getting framed for murder, it all just added up, and even though he was a technical diamond in the rough, he could only take so much pressure until he broke. And he did. And after everything, Nick wrote this book. Well, he wrote this book. F. Scott Fitzgerald did. But he plays Nick in a good way, in the sense that Nick's being judgmental after the fact. There was plenty of other thoughts that he thought. He mentioned some of them, but it's not all there. Some of the descriptions that he gives people are due to the after effect of everybody. He criticizes Tom so much. One line is like, people like hated his guts or something. Hold on, finding it. Finding it. If I can find it, in like the next 2 seconds. There was a parental touch of contempt in it, even toward people he liked. And there were men at New Haven who hated his guts. He mentions that Tom really ain't a good guy. And he becomes one of the people who kind of hates his guts. Tom isn't a good guy. He cheats on his wife actively, always grasping for control or something else out there, because he's rich and he feels like he has that kind of power. And doesn't treat any of the people he's with correctly. He slaps Myrtle, and he doesn't treat Daisy all that good either. And he frames Gatsby to save Daisy, I guess. But then they fold into their money. And Gatsby takes the fall for something Daisy did. Although not on purpose, Daisy did kill Myrtle. And Nick is stuck alone. Jordan starts to criticize him, but slightly, but not all that much. But Nick just couldn't care anymore. It's like everybody he had been with for the last 3 months didn't care. So he just developed a judgment on them, and it shows. Although it's not a perfect recollection of events, it shows that he's just being honest with how he feels about the people. And to how he remembers it, which is why he's trying to be unbiased, but he's gonna slander Tom's name a little bit, understandably. Because he's like, man, he's kind of a jerk. And Tom doesn't get any good throughout the book. And the entire thing, and just ends up being really bad. Anyways, my general point is Nick is not some narcissist. Not fully anyways, but he makes a point of reference to the fact that he has a limit. The book is the limit. Everything that happened within the story of events that he remembers, that was his limit. That was the breaking point for his tolerance for judgment. And he puts it all in. He puts in every last judgment on every character because he doesn't remember them fondly. It was just not a good time or place. And the homages to Gatsby, who was really the better out of all of them. Well, that's not the real line, but he was better in a sense, I guess. Anyways, thanks for watching. If you like this, please like it. Don't subscribe. You don't have to subscribe to this. I'm not an English dude. I'm probably not gonna do this again. I just found it interesting and I wanted to share it so other people can see it. Yeah. So yeah. Thank you for watching. I hope you all have good